check.
Check. 1, 2, 3.
You're awesome.
I know.
Alana.
Check. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, she's good. I think she's done this before.
She might have been on the podcast or two, I bet.
Maybe, I don't know.
She's a personality.
Are we popping the tabs during the show? Or are we waiting?
It's up to you. We
We do it right after we open.
Yeah.
And
Okay, there we go. I just want to know when I get the damn beer.
Welcome to Beers with Nigel. It's a podcast about beer and other stuff.
But mostly beer.
But mostly beer, because I have a lot of things rattling around my mind. And we have our first guests ever. Now, last week, we did have somebody try to call me while we were doing this, but, you know, he's not worthy to be on the show. Maybe later, maybe show
there's a
100.
price.
There is a price. You got to bring beer. And we have the esteemed Alana Broyles in the house from 11KC. 11.3KC. Love this chick right here. Talk about a beer ambassador for Kansas City. Literally, when you're on Facebook, if anything's going on in the beer community, she posts about it, which I love. So everybody loves her for that because she's a badass. She's a badass woman. She does all sorts of things we're going to talk about. But welcome to my podcast.
thank you. I'm excited.
Are you excited?
Yes. I got all dressed up.
There is like even a bow in the hair.
She does have a bow, kind of looking
This
like
show,
Minnie
we
Mouse.
literally put a bow on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we did.
Hot pants.
Yeah, I'm digging it. So yeah, the show is about beer and a lot of other things.
What am I, chopped liver?
I forgot the co-host, Nick.
I do all the hard work.
Nick is
Not really.
Nick is the engineer, the co-host, the producer, the mastermind. What else?
Straight man?
You are not the straight man. Nick Parker's in the house as usual. So welcome back, Nick. You decided to let us do it again, right?
Look, this is a fun show. This might be the most fun one that I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited about it.
And plus, we drink beer.
We drink beer. Speaking of
Speaking
beer,
of which,
here we go.
All right. Now, I'm a bad producer
Why is that?
because I didn't give myself enough time in between the previous show I had to produce and this one, so I didn't set up cameras so nobody can see that.
That's okay.
You brought me a fantastic gift today.
Well, you know, as
You brought me a High Life.
a Miller High Life in a can. Beautiful. Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome
Cheers.
to the show, Alana,
Thank
Nigel.
you.
So this is a show about beer. We have other beers, but as you know, if you listen to the first podcast, we have mystery beers from Nick.
Glorious.
Because Nick is a neophyte in beer. So I brought the golf bag. The golf bag is back.
That's awesome. I don't know if I'd say neophyte, but yeah, I'm not on the level that you are.
I blew your mind Oh, wow. That went kind of weird, didn't it? All right. 2 minutes in. Here we go. No, those 3 beers you had last time.
Oh, those were fantastic.
Yeah. I gave them a service beer.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Then we had a cherry Le Chouffe. Yeah. And I forget what the third one was, but I think it was from Texas, something from Texas.
It was. It
Yeah.
was. Yeah, because it was your trade deal that your
Oh,
strange,
yeah.
your strange
My
trade
strange
deal.
beer trade.
It's the black market beer trading scheme that Nigel has.
You'd be surprised how much beer is traded in this town. Wouldn't you say that, Alana?
Tons.
And that's odd to me that you're trading with people in Colorado and Texas and you're just mailing. I had no idea. I never would have thought to like box up beer.
It happens
and
every
drop
day.
it in the
It does.
postal. Yeah, I don't know.
I have a friend who works at Left Hand, and he sends me beer.
Oh, wow. That's good to know.
I'm gonna have you go a little closer to the microphone. There you go.
Sorry.
Yeah. See, does that sound better?
When you can hear your voice.
I'm loud sometimes, so I feel like I gotta.
Look, you're
Take it
talking with
back.
Nigel and Nick. We are always loud.
Right.
Okay.
So there's that.
We are
There's
the
that.
third and fourth loudest people in all of downtown Leeds Summit.
Yeah. That is true. That's true. It's actually true.
For a friend who may or may not ever listen to this podcast,
Yeah.
he knows who we're talking about.
He's probably going to listen. So welcome, Alana. Give us a short synopsis of who you are.
Ooh. I'm Alana, and I like cats. And
Hi,
I like
Alana.
beer. So I started 11.3KC about 2 years ago because there wasn't really anything specific in Kansas City where you could just go and it's a one-stop shop of all of our craft beer events and things that are going on, and started it, and here I am.
So are you the collector, the curator of beer events in Kansas City?
Maybe.
She is too.
Are you beer tourism of Kansas City?
No, I do not do tours.
Well, no.
Oh.
But I mean, like,
I'm like, no, that's not me.
that's Nigel. That's by the way, that's step 2 of our business plan.
Yeah, there you go.
Step 1 is have a business.
Step 2, take over the world.
What are we doing tonight, Pinky?
Taking over the world.
So 11-3. I'm curious what's the name mean?
Yeah,
So,
11-3 KC. I'm curious as well.
You've never asked this question?
No. Why would I ask that question? I just went with it.
You used
Right?
to be
You're like,
you
sounds
used to be a
okay.
journalist.
So
Okay.
I wanted a name that was specific to Kansas City in case I branched outside of beer. So K is the 11th letter of the alphabet, and C is the 3rd letter.
Nice.
Three.
Creative.
Oh, it's like a former girlfriend of mine. Her Twitter handle is letter 11, and her name starts with a K. Yeah.
Everyone's going to look that up now.
Yes. She's awesome.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's like, there's that, right?
Right?
So I asked Nick this question last week. What was your? We debated when the word craft came about, but what was your first craft beer? You think?
It was probably 7 years ago. I mean, of course I had, Boulevard Wheat. But I think my first, going to the liquor store and making my first pick was Mother's Towhead.
Really? Mm-hmm. I haven't heard that one in forever.
Right?
Is that still a thing?
And look at his face.
No.
He's
I'm
like,
like,
he's like, whose
that-
mother's
no,
towhead
is that still a thing?
I don't know. We could look it up. I have
I
no
don't know.
clue.
Field trip.
Yeah. Oh, that would be awesome to go to Mother's and do one of these.
Josh's cousin works there.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, we got the hookup.
Who's
son.
Josh?
Oh, my boyfriend.
Yeah. Josh is awesome. He works at Apex Brews and Barbecue Supplies. He's an awesome dude. That's my little homie right there. It was good to see him last Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So Towhead.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite in Kansas City right now? I know there can't be one favorite. I know there's some things you probably like here in town.
Right.
Breweries, beers. Shoot.
Wow. There's a lot of new places I have not gone. But when they had it on, when Rochester had their coffee stout on,
Oh yeah.
it was so good.
I'm in love already. I love those.
Yeah.
Coffee stouts?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah,
they're also,
A roastery.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they roast their own coffee beans and they add it to it.
Nice.
It was just,
So when you started
Good.
11-3 KC, what was the reception to that? Because I mean, for me, I kind of look for what you do when you put out this was happening today,
yeah.
or the next day. I mean, literally, she lists everything at whatever brewery every day. What was the reception of that when people started, getting into that sort of thing?
It was positive. People really just caught on and were just like, this is really cool and I'm going to follow you. And I was just like, holy shit, this is actually taking off. Like, what? And then I had Strange Days before they even opened. They were like, oh, hey, why don't you come in and I'll give you a tour. And
Oh wow,
you can, write a post about it. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
This is blowing my mind.
that's awesome. So
Yeah.
So are you updating every day? Are you saying what the different breweries have out, or are you just doing events?
Anything.
yeah.
All of the above.
Yeah.
It's funny because if I post something or retweet something or do something on social media, literally she's one of the first people to like it because she's on it. I'm like, what is she? Is
What?
she like at home with the cats on the computer?
I noticed when we were discussing this idea over drinks, and you told me about her, and I just went, okay, yeah, I'll go find her and follow her on Twitter. And within 5 minutes, she had followed back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
She does now play.
And I think I might have even used the wrong Twitter account.
Your burner account?
We're
You
like,
got a burner
well,
account?
I've got Twitter accounts for other shows,
yeah,
and other
other
things.
lives.
Other, the ones the government doesn't know about, all those things. Yeah, so I was like, wow, she is on her social media.
Yeah.
She certainly is.
So how did you make all the contacts with everybody? I mean, I just can't imagine, like, this is my niche. I'm going to do this. And then you jump in. But, I mean, how did you get in with all those contacts? So now they are calling you and they're saying, hey, come out to our tapping of a new beer, or come out to, we're opening a new brewery.
I kind of just pushed my way in. So a long time ago, before my ex-husband and I separated, we were both really involved in the whole, like, music scene and, like, 965 The Buzz, and we'd always go to all the concerts they'd hold, and, like, we're friends with the Fentra and Laszlo and, like, all that stuff. And it was I'm a very social person, and I love talking to people. It was not. I mean, that's probably why we were
You're
divorced.
social? I've never noticed
Right?
that.
And I was it's just so easy for me to talk to people and to make friends and to make connections and network out. And so, you know, when I started 11.3 and it really took off and people started noticing it, it was easy to be like, oh, yeah, I'm doing this for you. Do you want to maybe do this for me? And I have not received a no. So
That's weird because I think of beer, and we talked about this a little in the first episode. I think of beer as a man's world. And not that it should be, but I mean, just like, was that hard to, like, for people to take you serious?
I don't think it is. I don't think it's a man's world in Kansas City. It's a lot of women.
there are a lot of women.
I think when you say beer, I think dudes.
Well, there's that faction too. Absolutely.
So this is the first time I'm actually saying this publicly. One of the reasons why I started 11.3 is because there were men in Beer Tasting KC, this Facebook group, and they were assholes towards me. And it was because someone had posted a thread about, hey, I'm at this brewery in whatever town. If you guys want me to pick you up some, I'm going to charge you an extra, like, $5. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And that's, like, the only thing I said. And then all of these men attacked me about it and were just like, how dare you question us charging people for us offering to get beer for people? And that just didn't make sense in my head. But then I was just like, you're going to fucking talk down to me because I made a comment of, oh, that's weird.
Right.
So then it was just like, that's not okay.
And the nice thing about that page, as it's grown, is when something like that happens, that person gets railed.
So they've learned to police themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is good.
I mean, it's that's what I like about it, because it's a no douche zone. This is not the site to be a douche.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not the site to talk down to women you remember Woody posted that thing, and it was a firestorm about race.
Oh, yeah.
And some of the people who got on there, people were like, "What century do you live in? Get the fuck off this page." You know, because all they saw was their perspective of being white.
Yeah.
And had no clue about, kind of like we talked about last weekend, and we'll get to that, how Woody was talking about going into a tap room and being the only brother up in there and not feeling that comfortable. Mm-hmm. You know, and that oh, bless you, you could have burped into the mic, girl. That's
okay.
We do that here.
We encourage Mike burping.
Yeah, because we're gonna put it on a scale of 1 to 10, right? So
I think that's actually our form of both love and audience participation.
But no, to your point, that it was like that. But I think, like you said, Nick, they police themselves, and it's become a much better space for whoever to roll up in, beer tasting KC.
Yeah. But you say KC is different in that there are a lot of women
I think
that get involved in the community. I mean, that's kind of cool. That's
if
surprising to me.
If you're on that page, or even if you're on Beer Chugging KC, which is an offshoot of that page, there's women on there.
Oh yeah.
Like we talked about in the first episode when I went to Pittsburgh for Fresh Fest and went to the symposium, and their issue was we don't have enough women. I'm like, really? I mean, I tell this story all the time. I was at Boulevard last Tuesday. I was probably one of a handful of dudes. The rest was women. Cool. I have no problem with that. But yeah, I think there's a lot of women participating, but the one thing Alana's doing is, she did her calendar. We'll talk about your calendar, where, she's highlighting the women in craft beer in Kansas City. And just yesterday, Courtney Service from Service was on the telly.
Yeah.
Holy shit, right?
That was awesome. I just walked through the living room, and the news was on the TV, and I'm like, hey.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big fucking deal, you know, for who men to see that, for young girls to see that, be like,
yeah.
that's a female brewer
That's
that
bonus.
owns the damn place. I'm like, hell yeah, Courtney,
Right?
fuck it, let's rock that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm getting off my soapbox.
No, that's good.
You know I get passionate as shit.
As a veteran at this, this is why you podcast actually is because it's your soapbox now.
Well, that is true. That is true. So moving on though. So we talked about women in beer. One of my favorite things you've done, besides you posting every day and loving my shit. No, I'm just the calendar was a brilliant idea. What? Tell us how that came about. Tell us about it and how it came about.
Okay, so I did one last year, and it just featured breweries around the different neighborhoods. Brookside, North KC, East Side, Kansas Side. And then the second one I wanted to do was just highlight women so that people knew, like, oh shit, there's women here. Like, they're fucking doing it up.
Right.
So we had women brewers, home brewers, commercial brewers, women who own and make their own wine, like have their own vineyards and like do all that shit. Like Sloan was in it. She helped at Quinto Coffee for a while, and
Tell us who Sloan is.
she is a trans woman, and you can find her at the Belfry, I believe. She works there. I'm not sure where else she works, but definitely find her at the Belfry. And then we had Cheryl, who owns Boozy Botanicals, and she makes her own syrups that you can add to cocktails, or you can make.
I know all
mocktails.
about Boozy Botanicals.
Yep. So it just featured a bunch of strong, empowered women, and
I love it.
yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I love it. I think on that note, we should crack our first beer.
The second beer.
Well, no, the mystery
Real.
beer.
Oh, our first mystery beer.
Yeah, let's.
Well, while you're grabbing
Okay.
it, where can people find this? I want to go see the calendar. So where can people find the calendar?
You can find the link to order one. They are $10, and they also come with 6 coupons. So there's a buy one get one coupon at Apex. There's a buy one beer get one beer at Grains and Taps. There's a half off beer coupon for Lawrence Beer Co. There's, I believe, another buy one get one, but I can't remember where it's at. There's a free small popcorn at Screenland up north, and then there's a free arcade play at Tapcade
Awesome.
on it too. So,
Fancy.
Awesome.
but you can find it. You go to my Twitter or my Instagram or my Facebook and find the link. And
What's your
order
Twitter
it.
handle?
113KC
Okay, at
113KC.
yeah,
You know what? That's sound branding right there.
it is.
That is some solid branding. And then Nigel Wrestling, back in your TV days, they called that Nat Sound.
That is Nat Sound. I like it.
Is it a Natty Light beer?
Hell no. Here, I'll let you. Since you're you need to know
What do we
what
got
it
here?
is.
Ooh, Sweater Party from Avery Brewing.
Yep.
It's a spiced winter warmer.
And it is winter.
It is.
outside.
Yep.
We've
It
got
is.
real winter.
I think you need to wear this sweater someday.
If I could find it, fuck yeah, I would.
Amazon, hi.
Oh, hello, touche. Onesie. Oh, onesie.
We do a onesie party.
Speaking of weird like clothing, you remember when the jumper thing was in for men like 3 years ago?
Oh, yeah.
I found this denim jumper. I told everybody, I was like, if you could buy it, I'd fucking wear it, but nobody would do it.
I would buy it for you.
Oh, I wonder if it's still that's still in though. I would still
Why
rock it
wouldn't
though.
it be?
I'd still rock that.
I want to
Work
see you
then. Who fucking cares what people think?
That's true.
marching up and down 3rd Street in Lee Summit.
I'm not going to march. I might saunter.
From brewery to brewery.
Right.
Well, the saunter comes after a few drinks. The marching is when you go there.
Marching seems a bit regimented to me.
You're an Army brat.
Air Force,
Air Force.
actually. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Come on.
As
Different branch.
Also the son of an Air Force.
Yeah. How could you forget that? That's rude.
That is rude. You guys are almost like twin brothers.
Yeah, we're both sort of tall.
Is that what you call that?
Great smiles.
All right, Nigel, you've got the tasting glasses.
They're right in the middle of the table.
I know,
Alana?
I just want to make Nigel do the work.
Oh my gosh.
Weird.
Look, these are so fancy. They're nice and plastic. and they're like little cups you would find at a holiday party.
Nigel just went from sitting to standing.
Yeah, I'm a stander. My butt can't take all that sitting.
My non-ass doesn't like it.
Yeah, and it's a metal. It's not a metal chair, but it's not a comfortable chair.
No. My studio is not about being comfortable.
I mean, it looks cool.
It does look cool.
There's a door here, and then if you slam it, your entire soul jumps out of your body.
Yes.
We are recording in what used to be a vault.
Yeah, in an old post office.
In an old post office.
It's badass.
It is fucking badass. Did you guys mention that on the first episode?
Did we?
I don't remember.
I don't think we did.
Okay, well, you're welcome.
So
there was a little bit of beer involved.
I think we found our producer.
We need somebody smart to tell us what to do.
Well, the nice thing about having Alana on, she has a lot of contacts. So,
Yep.
We'll be able to get some different people that I might not be able to get. Not that, it's a competition, but I'm just saying. So, so we're having the Avery Winter Sweater Party. 8.9%.
Ale with
Smells
mulled
good.
spices.
Did you smell it?
I did.
What do you think? What do you think of that
It
smell?
smells like a Christmas beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
I'm feeling very Noel. Feliz Navidad.
That's my middle
wait.
name. The Noel, not the
Oh, is it?
Feliz.
That would be awesome if your name was
Alana Feliz Navidad.
Noel
Thanks, Mom.
Felisa. I have two middle names.
Well, because you're a weird British guy.
Yeah, that's good. I'm just going to skip right over that comment.
I thought it was. I'm just going to accept it. Yes.
Weird's a bit strong. That's interesting.
That's a lot of.
It reminds me of another beer.
That's a lot of.
Yeah.
Is that nutmeg?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Little clove.
Molasses, nutmeg. What does it say?
Cinnamon, orange peel, allspice, cloves,
Allspice.
It's the-
Allspice.
I feel like I'm having a little taste of pumpkin bread at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that holiday pumpkin bread.
So this is one of the beers that was sent to me from Colorado.
Nice.
A guy I met. I've never met this guy. He's in one of the beer groups on Facebook, and I was looking for this pickle beer from this brewery in Dallas or in Fort Worth.
The one you drank last night?
Yeah, it was fucking fire.
Really?
Yeah, it was so ridiculous. It was like pickle juice.
Oh,
You don't like pickle juice?
I don't like pickles.
Yeah, we had this conversation last time. You and
Why would you ruin a perfectly good cucumber? What did it ever do to you?
you know what? I'm gonna get one of those beers. I'm gonna make you drink it.
I like other things pickled though. Pickled eggs, eat them.
It's ridiculous. Really? Why would you pickle an egg? That egg.
Pickled garlic. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've had some pickled
That's-
garlic.
You could probably, cooking with that would be
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
Oh no, not it's just a snack. Pickled garlic. It's just
no,
It's just you pick one out of the jar. Pop
Yeah,
it.
I've
I mean,
had-
you don't want to go breathe on your friend afterward, but
right?
I bought some of those. So that's kind of cool. So anyway, moving on. Let's talk about the I Am Craft Beer movement, because you really got behind it and brought the jam to Kansas City in a big fucking way. And I was super proud of you, super happy you fucking did it. It gives me, I was goosebumps that whole time I was there. Tell me how you get, obviously you're a craft beer ambassador. You love the community. You see that diversity and inclusion is not our greatest asset right now.
Right.
What spurred you on besides Afro Beer Chick's story?
It was her story, and it made me so sad.
Go ahead and recount that story real quick.
yeah, because I don't know a lot about this movement. Nigel's told me a
So-
little bit, but
This woman in Chicago, and she on social media, it's Afro Beer Chick. She's been in the industry for a long time, has a huge following. Obviously we both follow her. She's I've never met her, just through social media, and I think she's a really fucking cool ass woman. But it was in September, and she received hate mail, and it wasn't just hate mail. Like, it was specific hate mail about her race, because she is a person of color, a woman of color, and they called her out, And like she posted it, and just the message itself made me just so sad that she received that, But it also inspired me because she could have went and found that person who sent it to her and like ruined their life and got him fired and like all that stuff. And instead, her and Dr. J turned this into like this movement. And, they were like, hey, we're going to make this negative situation into a positive. And Dr. J,
who is
Dr. J Beckman, she, oh man, caught me off guard right now.
Yeah. She's a diversity ambassador for the Brewers Association, the national organization.
Okay.
Yes.
And she's a heavy hitter.
Yes.
And so the Brewers Association never really thought about diversity and inclusion until maybe she's been there maybe a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I met her and Shalonda at Fresh Fest.
Oh, wow.
And so it was pretty interesting to have a conversation with her and hear her speak at the symposium. But the Brewers Association is really adamant on saying, let's get some other colors into this community. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So back to you, girl.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
So they started this I Am Craft Beer movement on Twitter, and Dr. J tweeted out, hey, tell me who you are, tell me what you do, and hashtag it I Am Craft Beer. And like the response from that was so overwhelming because it was men, it was women, it was, people
around the world,
all around the world. And I mean, it wasn't just your typical, oh, I'm Alana, I like this beer, I am craft beer. It's, it's like, I'm Alana, I'm a mother and I'm a partner and I have anxiety and depression.
Stories.
And it was. And then it was just
a movement of real inclusion.
Yes. Like it was just amazing. And just thinking about it. And then I believe in Chicago, they had their meetup about it. And I was drunk one night at Apex at Josh's bar. And I was just like,
where most great ideas come from.
Yes. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, we need to fucking do this here. And he's just like, okay, do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, give me a piece of paper. So he gave me this piece of paper and I'm just sitting there writing down all these fucking notes and I'm just going on and on. And I'm like, who can I partner with on this so, we could really spearhead this and do it. So then I messaged Woody and Jeff from Boards and Bottles. I'm like, hey guys, I have this idea. I don't want you to think it's crazy, and I pitched it to them and they're like, yep. Let's do it. I'm like, all right. So then, we talked about where we could do it here in Kansas City that has a big enough space. And I was just like, Rochester, like their event space is huge.
Yeah.
So then October, I had a meeting with David and Marshall and pitched them the idea. And they were like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
love it.
Okay. So then from then on, I made my list every day and did everything I had to do and contacted all these people for, to be on the panel.
Right.
Christy, to be the guest speaker, and then all the breweries and businesses for their raffles and just doing it.
So were you surprised by the turnout?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because how many people do you think it was?
Half the room. I mean, there was standing room.
Yeah, I mean, there were no seats.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was crazy.
So what do you think? A couple hundred people?
Yeah, I'd probably say 125, 130.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
easily. Yeah.
And we were able to raise $620 for the Boys and Girls Club of Kansas City.
Nice.
So, I mean,
Because all the breweries donated stuff for the raffle, which was awesome. Yeah. I didn't win shit. Let's just sidebar. I put all my tickets into. There was 2 12-packs of KC beers.
Yeah.
I wanted those. I thought, put all my tickets in there. I'm gonna win that shit.
You thought you were gaming the system.
I wouldn't. I was gaming myself.
So you sat on the panel as well, right?
I did. I sat on the panel.
What were you talking about inclusion on this panel?
Yeah, there were
Were
questions.
you talking about the the movement itself, or was this just more of a broad?
It was really more about what we can do in Kansas City, because there were questions on specific things, and each panelist got the answer. And I have my thoughts, and they don't change, and I kind of just riffed and went and went and went. And it was an opportunity because people know us on social media a lot.
Yeah.
But they don't know us in person like that. So it was a good opportunity to say, yeah, here I am, and I fucking mean it. Because not that I have an issue with, going into a brewery and being the only person of color. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter to me. But it matters to other people.
Right.
And, I want to be able to, help people who are in these breweries understand that, yeah, you got to make it more inclusionary for other people. Or at least go out in the community and say, hey, let's, share our wares to people who normally don't even know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Because like I said on Saturday, to shame that Boulevard and Rochester and Almeida, they're all those breweries are in the hood basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you know where they're?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we've talked a little bit about this before, and you've said, look, I'm the kind of guy, I don't care. I'll walk in, I'll talk to anybody. But even with that personality, do you still though notice a difference that you go in sometimes and you are the only black guy there? No one else looks like you. I know your attitude says that you can talk to anybody, but do you notice other people maybe not talk to you?
No, because people always talk to me, so there's that. It's not a fair question, Bob. No, I just it's one of those things where
I guess it's interesting to me because you don't always hear the perspective. You're putting the onus on you that you're going to fit in no matter where you are. But the conversation isn't about that. The conversation is about the people that look like me.
It's not and it's not about me fitting in. It's about people who
no, not about you fitting in. It's about, are we going to let you in?
I don't give a shit. I'm coming in. you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
And that's awesome. But again, is that really the point of the conversation?
But my point. This is my point of the conversation. Is it needs to be understood that it's okay for whoever to come in and not feel. At least if we start somewhere and get more people of color in some of these places, it's the onus is not necessarily on the brewery alone. It's about education. It's about promoting. It's about showing people in different communities that this is in your community and you're welcome to come here.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
And I may not be saying this right, or clearly, but I wonder if those are two separate things. In that there needs to be an atmosphere that you as a person of color, you as a woman, can feel empowered to come in. You should feel empowered. But the other conversation is also that for people that look like me, because look, I'm a white man. That's 90% of our world, right? Mm-hmm. Is that I need to know that I need to act in a way that empowers you and lets you feel welcome.
I think just
are there two separate conversations there?
It might be, but I feel that is, that should be on that white man. Does that make sense?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is those seem like, just the way you said it seemed to me like that's two separate conversations.
Yeah. Well, it may be, but they're related. But I
they
think,
are related. I
think ultimately it's about exposure to craft beer and who's going to do that and how we're going to do that. I think I have a responsibility in that, just like you do. Because my homeboys in the hood know about Boulevard, and we talked about this last week. They know about Boulevard. Have you ever heard of Windshift or Alma Mater or these other places? No, because at least Boulevard has the money to advertise, right? Mm-hmm. They really should be going out and doing things in these other parts of town and saying, here, we're going to do this as outreach. So the smaller brewers, everybody's committed to doing it, but the issue is, or the thing is, how do we do it? So going forward, we need to come up with some strategies to say, okay, there's certain things happening in Kansas City that it's not all white people. Events. Let's go out there, and several breweries say, hey, we're going to donate some beer just for tastings or whatever, and say, hey, this is Kansas City shit right here.
Right.
Then you have an idea. You don't know about this beer until I bring it to you, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's really the crux of the issue, is that people don't know.
Yeah.
I'm tired of my friends saying let's go to Twin Peaks. I'm like, no.
There are a million reasons to say no.
and
let's start with the beer.
And I hate Twin Peaks because I think that bullshit of them, those cold ass glasses, that's dumb. And I don't need 22 ounce. If I want a 22 ounce beer, I'm going to go to Ugly Joe's and get one in those plastic cups and get a good beer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I like that you're coming from it from it's still about the beer, because that's what you're talking about, a beer community, right. But using that also as a way to bring in some conversations that are hard. I mean, Nigel, you and I live and work in a community that's gone through it in the last couple of years.
Oh, absolutely.
Hard conversations, but if you can find something like this where it's just beer,
and ultimately
you can make it a little bit easier to bring people along.
Ultimately, beer brings people together. You know, it's like wine. It's a social lubricant.
Yeah.
You know, there's a few people who can't handle it, but that ain't us, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's usually the white guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're the worst, Alana. Let's just put it out there. We're the worst.
Oh shit.
So Alana, you're in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Going forward, what do you see yourself in 5 years in the beer game? Do you want to be in a brewery? Do you want to be tell me what your aspirations are. I'm so curious, because you're on a unique path, I think.
I don't know if I want to work specifically for a brewery, or if I want to work for a nonprofit, or just kind of be a freelance consultant for all of kind of that, because I would really love to be like an event coordinator, project manager, and kind of set things up, and then like, cool, I did this and I helped you. I'm gonna go and do this now with these people and get that set up.
I've got a job for you. I just thought of a job with perfect. So you've got Dr. J on the national scene. We need a regional. That's you. Wouldn't that be badass?
But isn't that a little bit of what you're already doing? I mean, that seems like an easy transition.
You're promoting, and you're promoting the beer, but you're also promoting, hey, we need to be more inclusive too. I mean, that seems to me.
Yeah.
She can't cover the whole country.
How many different local craft brewers are you talking to every week?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, let's see if you can answer this. Nigel had struggled with this question last week. How many microbrew craft breweries do we have in our Kansas City area?
Just Kansas City, Missouri area?
That's what I asked him. You counting Weston? Lawrence?
Because there's, okay, so.
I never count Lawrence in anything. Go grab. Well, you're sitting on a stool. You can swing it.
Just call me Sylvia.
Let's say the whole Lawrence isn't metro. Look, even if you like Lawrence, which nobody likes Kansas, but
I love Lawrence actually.
But you can't call it metro.
No, they don't.
No.
So
let's go metro.
Let's go metro.
Okay. So stopping at the state line up north to Excelsior Springs, down to Drexel, Missouri.
That's a stretch.
That's not metro.
So, okay, on all my
Let's go Cass County. So let's say I'll allow you to count Harrisonville.
Okay.
And let's go.
There's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go north to.
Just.
Let's say Weston. Let's say Weston.
Okay.
That's a day trip still. Let's go.
Well, if you're going to do that, you might as well do Ottawa as well.
East to what? Oak Grove?
Yeah.
And west to where? What's equivalent?
Probably Lawrence.
All right, let's count Lawrence. Fine. Dang it.
I'm going to say...
Only because I'm scared she's going to hit me with a stool.
I'm going to say... I want to say like 75.
You think that many?
Wow.
I thought it was. I'm thinking the 50s.
Wow. Either way, look.
Do we even know? Were we guessing?
I mean, I have a list.
All right.
I got an Excel spreadsheet.
Okay, episode 3, we're going to have that answer.
Yep.
Well, let's just put that out there. Episode 3, we'll have that answer. But whether you're saying 50 or 75, that's huge to me.
Yeah.
I mean, just from my layman brain, I never would have guessed.
But again, like we talked 30. About in the first episode, we're way behind the curve for breweries. We are. The central part of the country, we're behind Omaha, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There are smaller cities that have more breweries than we do. We're really behind. I freaked him out last week. I'm like, oldest brewery, 30 years old, Boulevard.
Yeah.
The next oldest?
Free State.
Well, if you don't count Metro.
I was gonna say.
Right. Okay.
I don't count Lawrence.
But after them, the next one's probably 7 years old.
Yeah.
And then in the last 2 years, there's probably been, I don't know, 20?
Oh, yeah, that just popped up?
Yeah. So it's an interesting time in beer for, for
How many
this
think
part
we're
of the country.
adding a year right now? I mean, I can think of 2 that are coming online in the next several months.
Yeah. There's like 3 or 4 coming on here soon.
Yeah. I think every year maybe 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a for lack of a better description, he's a brother-in-law. He is a food rep, and he's also a member of ZZ Hops, and he's a brewer as well, a home brewer. And he's kind of a pessimistic guy, but he's always saying at some point that microbrew, that craft brew, the bubble's going to burst. It just can't keep at this pace. What do you guys think about that?
You asked me that last week.
I don't think it'll burst. I think people will realize. Okay, so I don't want this to come off as rude, and it might come off as rude. There's a lot of home brewers who brew beer and think, man, this is so good. I want to open a brewery. So then they do it. And I feel that craft beer and the breweries here as a whole it's not going to burst, but not everyone brews great beer.
No, that's true.
So I think that is going to be like, and it's a lot of egos are going to get hurt, but as a whole, when one dies, like 3 more are going to come in its place.
And and my thing is for my money, the neighborhood, tap room or brewery, that's the thing. I mean,
I love seeing those.
I love Boulevard, but that's not. I love it, but it's not homey.
Yeah.
You go to a place like Fringe or Apex.
Boulevard is a great event space.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great. It's a great tourist trap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's what it is.
Yeah. Because they're a big ass company, right? But these other ones that are popping up, they're in neighborhoods. I mean, I used to live in Mission and Sand Hills. I'm like, God, I wish I was there back then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I could have. It's literally down the street from where I used to. I guess I should. Poor me, who lives next door to a brewery and got 3 others.
Right.
Yeah. Never mind. Forget I haven't said anything like that. Oh my
Nigel
God.
lives next door to a brewery, next door to a craft cocktail place,
Next door to a craft coffee
next
place.
door to a craft coffee and liquor place.
God, my life.
Down the street from craft cocktail.
I'm telling you,
down the
man.
street from another microbrew.
I'm telling you, when I die, when I come back, I'm coming back as me.
Well, you talk about the growth.
Yeah, crack it.
Let's just go back 20 years, say,
right.
the late 90s, mid 90s. Barley Brew House was the closest you came to a tap room, and now, like you said, they're popping up.
75th Street Brewery.
Yeah,
we used to go there, and we didn't like the beer.
Or we brought this up last time, Old Chicago.
Right.
You got to take your trip around the world.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Alana is breaking out another beer.
These things are ridiculous. These are, what do they call them?
Slushy beers?
Slushy beers.
Now she is doing the rinse the cup.
Yeah, she's fancy like that.
I actually saw. I tried to do a little prep work. I've been reading a little bit about beer,
Right.
And I saw a thing, and the column that somebody wrote was about the debate between whether or not you need to rinse your glass in between.
It's polite. It's polite. It's
One guy
fine.
said, "No, it's beer, and I want more beer."
So if we were going to be drinking a stout after this Avery beer, I wouldn't have cleaned it out. But since we're having this smoothie style Gosa, it's blueberry, blackberry, plum, cherry, lime, grape, and lactose.
And where's that from?
It is from 903, which is in Texas.
I thought you were going to say 7-Eleven. Somebody got me a Slurpee.
903. What area code is that?
I don't know.
Is that Fort Worth?
So Laura and my friend Jeff, they're a married couple. They're from Springfield. So they came up Saturday,
Look at that.
and they brought a few of these down for me.
Yeah, when I had some Saturday, I was
Cut
like,
back.
oh, my bad. And I'm
Northeast Texas.
like,
It also includes Texarkana,
oh, wow.
Tyler, and Sherman.
Really?
I'm like the Cliff Clavin.
Tyler.
of this.
Oh, that area code. Got you. You know, I used to live in Tyler, Texas.
Well, I know. That's why I read that. I was like, wait a minute.
Look at that thing. It looks like,
Beet juice.
or blood.
I ate his liver with some nice Chianti.
Right, exactly. Let's check it out. Smells fruity.
Is this Vegemite?
Ooh.
Wow, that's good.
What do you think?
I like that.
Yeah.
You know what this is? This is like if those sour candies were beer, that's what this is.
So, Alana, maybe you know this. I don't know. The slushy things are new for me.
I've never even heard
What
of it.
makes them slushy? Is it the lactose?
Yeah, because it's not slushy.
Well, it's kind of thick and kind of.
It's thicker, but it's not.
I think if you froze it, it might be a kind of slushy type, type. I don't know.
It is
think
thick.
I think
It's
all
blood
the
thick.
lactose and the puree.
Oh, so there's puree in there. Got you. That's what makes it thick.
Yes. And gets all the fruit in it.
I need to tell Tony at Windshift to do a slushy beer.
This would be good lake beer.
So
How you figure that?
Because, I want to sleep on the dock. drink this before my nap,
Or when you wake up.
or both.
So this is 4.5 ABV. So what was it? Is it? There's another brewery. I forget who they. It's 415, 403, 450 Brewing. I don't know, but they make slushy beers, and they had them listed as like 8 to 9%.
Oh, I heard about this. This
Yes.
is awesome.
And someone actually took it and like tested it.
Yeah.
And they were like, there's absolutely no way that this is an 8% beer.
Yeah.
And it all came down to like a 2.4.
Yeah.
Because all the fruit that's in it
Right.
kind of like waters it down.
Cuts it.
Yeah.
You know what? I like it, but it's like a candy.
It is like
Yeah.
a candy, yeah.
I don't think I would. Honestly, you split that can into 3. I don't know. I'd want more than my
Yeah.
third,
Yeah.
but I like it.
Yeah.
I mean,
A great sharing beer.
this
Yeah.
is like sour Skittles.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Like I had somebody. There's a who makes Death by Coconut. You remember?
Oscar Blues?
Yeah. So they have a Death by King Cake.
Ooh, I bet that's so sweet.
Do you get your Nolans on?
Oh, it's not?
I was like, well, first of all, it's an ale, and I know a thing or two about King Cake. Me, living in New Orleans and doing the last 13 Mardi Gras, I know King Cake.
Good Lord.
Could you make one?
And
Could I-
Andy's alive to tell
If
about it.
if I YouTube help me, yes. Put that shit in my air fryer.
Does Nigel cook? Does Nigel cook?
In his air fryer.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. That's one of the greatest inventions. Not ever. I don't cook. I can. As a kid, I wanted to be a chef because my mother is a great cook. Didn't teach me shit. My mother's Jamaican, right?
Oh, man.
She didn't teach me any of those recipes. But I'm like, now she's 76. I'm like, well, the one recipe you need to teach me is that she makes this rum cake, and they make it with this overproof Jamaican rum, so it doesn't evaporate, and it's so dense, and you get a piece. It's like so thick, and you can get drunk off one piece.
I feel like this is the same. You're talking about the same rum cake recipe my family has.
Probably not. Are they Jamaican?
No, but it's made with a Jamaican rum. And it's,
I bet it's not that Jamaican rum I'm talking about, son.
No, probably not.
This is the overproof. It's just the shit that that's the leftover from the still. Wow. Yeah.
We make a good rum cake.
Okay. Well,
I love rum.
See, he has these moments. I love rum.
It's true.
He's like Homer Simpson. I love beer. Rum.
You really don't want to know the consumption of my house.
Really? Thanks for the invite.
We're going to have a rum night sometime.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
Next episode, I will download the app.
Yeah.
We're going to check in beers.
I'll tell you one thing.
I've held off. I've fought it.
Alana's going to be a recurring guest for sure. It's like on Tonight Show. They'll have that one guest that it's always going to be good conversation.
Yes, this is fun.
Yeah. Speaking of conversations.
Yes.
Kansas City. What are your go-to breweries? Who do you like?
Oh man.
If you had to go top 5, who do you like?
Let's
Not
see.
any particular order.
Okay, so
Because I'll give you mine as well, and then Nick will.
I'll throw in.
I Uber to everywhere because
You're smart.
yes, and because in 2018 I got a DUI and I have an interlock now.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Yes.
I think you told me that. Yeah. Rude.
Whatever.
Yeah. Anyway.
So I can't drive and then have a beer and drive somewhere else. But so I'm Ubering. So while I Uber, I have to think really hard where I want to go,
Right.
and like the neighborhood I want to go, because it's a $20 Uber ride. Do I want to spend $20 going here and there and this and that?
It's cheaper than a DUI.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
Right?
is that even a question?
Ugh, fucking shit. Yes. So obviously Apex, I go there a lot because Josh is there. Let's see.
Did you go to BD's when he was over there?
I did all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that little place.
I do too.
That's where I met Josh.
Oh, really?
Yeah. First time I met him, he was working over there, and he just knew his beers.
Oh, yeah.
And you ever been to BD's?
No.
The Mongolian barbecue in
Oh yeah,
Independence?
yeah. But
I've never been to the restaurant. I've only been to the bar.
Long ago.
The beer selection over there is so ridiculous.
I didn't go back because I didn't like the food.
I don't know how
I've
it is
never
now,
eaten there.
though,
Yeah, I'm
since
sure.
he's gone.
Anyway.
I've heard other
Yeah.
people say the tap room's nice, but I just haven't been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to your story.
So Apex, I go to the Crossroads a lot, and when I'm down there, I'll go to Double Shift and City Barrel.
Okay.
I go to a lot of craft beer bars.
Like where? What do you like?
Beer Station,
I love Beer Station.
iTap.
iTap's good.
I'll go there to, and even it's not really a craft beer bar, but Dodson's. It's because I live in Waldo, and it's right there.
Oh, that's what you live in Waldo. I didn't know that.
And Dodson's is right there. They have craft beer, but they have some really good cocktails. And
You ever go to Charlie Hooper's?
no,
They've got a great beer selection.
do they really?
Oh, absolutely.
We tried ordering food from there on Sunday, and they wouldn't deliver because they were too busy.
That's awesome.
I was like, what the fuck? No, you should have said that to yourself. You should know better. Really?
Man, I was so hungover from Saturday.
What a great night Saturday was.
It really was.
I mean, some of the people that showed up, it was all love. We had a guy from God, what's the brewery?
New Belgium.
New Belgium. He was
The rep.
this guy.
Really?
He was the local rep. He just happened to see my tweet. I don't know this guy from a can of paint, and he shows up. He's like, "Well, I needed to, come to this because I needed to meet some people." I'm like, "Well, all the movers and shakers are here. A lot of breweries, a lot of beer people. There were some people that stumbled in there. You want to hear a funny story though?
That couple, that girl who was wasted.
I've got a better story.
Okay.
By the way, you're at a beer event. You're like that one that was wasted.
And it wasn't me.
So I got on Hinge recently, the dating app.
Oh,
It's been, I haven't gone out with anybody.
okay.
So this one girl I was talking to, I was like, hey, she wanted to meet on Saturday. Well, I wanted to meet her Saturday during the day because I had that event. I said, well, if I'm on this panel, blah, blah, blah. If you want to come over and hang out and see what's cracking,
Right.
come on over. So she shows up. And so while we were doing the thing, I talked to her a couple of times, and obviously I'm doing my thing, right?
Yeah.
And then I talked to her, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna leave, blah 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 blah. The next thing I know, she has sent me a text. That was the most disrespectful thing I've ever happened. I'm like, disrespect? What happened? I was like, if I disrespected you, sorry. I'm like, it was so weird. I'm like, I invited you to an event where I'm on a fucking panel.
Right?
You could have said no. Sorry, I didn't pay all that much attention to you.
Yeah.
I was on a panel.
Busy.
So it was kind of.
So when the moderator throws you a question, you just need to pause and say, "Hey, my new lady is out there.
I wasn't going to claim that.
Do you need a beer?
Right.
Are you okay?
Can somebody send her a beer?"
You know, she apparently does not like beer, so there's that. So
Why did she say
So-
yes?
you know, it's a good question. It's a good question.
So we're gonna change the show now. We're gonna fix everybody's relationships. It's a call-in show.
My
of-
relationship is fixed because I'm single.
I've got some music. We're gonna do some long-distance dedications.
Nick, I'm in love with myself. Show you right. All right, let's crack this last beer. I got one more beer. You want to do the preacher beer, or you want to do another mystery beer? Or we can drink that one after. It's
Let's
up to
do the
you.
preacher beer.
Okay.
All right.
So give us the background on this beer.
All right, so I have a new friend over the last year. He is the pastor of a Lutheran church.
The Lutherans love them.
Yeah. He is also an avid home brewer. And so we a bunch of us went out to a ball game earlier, and we show up for the tailgate, and he opens his cooler, and it's all of his home brews. And then a couple months ago, he invited me out for his brew day at his church, which is awesome.
That is
And,
awesome.
you know,
Look, thank you, 8-pound 4-ounce baby Jesus.
I am
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
I am not what you would call a devout man. So I already, look for the.
I know what you're devout about.
I look for the lightning as soon as I walk in already. and then I'm like, and you're brewing in your church? This is so weird to me.
Hey, man.
In the church.
Oh yeah,
Jesus made wine. Hello.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
So
From his
I may have
blood.
I may have grown up in a little stricter environment, but
Oh, that's right. Oh, check this out. Sidebar. He grew up Mormon,
the Independence brand.
which I don't know what that
Really?
means.
So the Utah's the LDS, Independence
Right.
was the RLDS,
Yeah.
and now they've changed their name to something else.
Yeah.
But I don't know, whatever.
But you're not anymore.
No.
I mean, obviously. You're
I didn't get into the
but-
fun stuff, though. I didn't get like multiple wives. I didn't get special underwear.
Special underwear.
What? That's a thing?
I mean, look,
Maybe.
I didn't get into the fun stuff.
I'm
I would
gonna
have left too.
I'm about to Google the special underwear situation.
For any of our listeners, we apologize.
if you're Mormon.
I'm just making jokes. I'm a jokester.
Anyway,
Anyway,
the church beer.
so we have a preacher beer here. It is what did I say? Irish red ale is what he made. I haven't had it yet, but I thought this was a good time to crack it open.
Okay, let's crack it open.
Yeah.
All right. Do we need to rinse the glasses again? Am I okay?
No, I think this will be fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
at this point.
yeah.
I
So
keep talking.
is this pastor part of any of the homebrew clubs?
He is not. I don't know. He is not.
Okay.
He has an interesting path. He did seminary in Berkeley, California. He grew up on the East Coast.
Oh, he's a hippie.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
he's
I can dig it.
pretty
yeah.
liberal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Pretty
I
hip.
think it gets him in a little bit of trouble sometimes.
Oh, really?
He's not quite as liberal as I am, but not many are.
What does that mean?
Right. Lots
How
of.
liberal are you, sir?
Flame.
Good job.
That thing was coming. Oh no.
That came from
that-
toenails.
Ew, it stinks.
Yeah, I'm
You're
sorry.
Smelling it and trying to. Bleh.
No.
Oh my.
I-
That was chicken wings and pork tacos from Smoke.
Gross.
So check this out,
Gross.
Nick. I went to Smoke today. Remember we talked about Smoke last
Yeah.
week? I went and I had a flight.
Okay.
And
I haven't done a
about
flight
it.
there in a while.
and I was pleasantly surprised.
He has. We're gonna go back to where we started. I like full circle episodes. He has a coffee stout that I really like.
Right.
Ooh.
You know they're
you
hiring
try
a brewer. They didn't have it on.
Okay.
You know they're hiring a brewer.
Well, let's try the preacher.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Now she's on the show.
That was Alana. that wasn't Nick.
All right. Praise baby Jesus.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
But each glass looks a little
The-
different, by the way.
the-
But that also could be the leftover
Yeah.
slushy in each.
Smells like beer.
Irish red ale.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's a little thin.
It is. Usually they have
A little more of a kick.
yeah, and kind of like a dirt taste.
Yeah.
Dirt taste? Like dirt?
Yeah. Yeah, red ales. To me,
I'm
they
thinking
kind
of the
have,
ones
like,
I've had before, and I don't know I would have described them that way. But I don't pay that much attention.
Well, once you download that app, you will.
So here's how I judge the beers. Do I like it or do I not like it?
That's how I coached him up last week. Ultimately, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
I
Would
know
you
that
order
I
it
know
again?
that I know that over the last year or so I've been more into the stouts.
I've got a stout for you right here, sir.
I know I like hoppy
Is that a homebrew
IPAs.
stout?
Yeah.
From who?
Alex
You?
Workman. I've been saving this thing because he hadn't brewed it in a while. I was like, you're going to love this shit right here.
All right.
This is one of the best home brewers that's out there.
Nice.
Should we put it up against this Good Lovin' from Boulevard?
Good Lovin' is good too.
That is a good
Taste test. Taste test. Good luck. You know my favorite Boulevard beer is One Love. That rum rum barrel aged thing.
Yep. I think we already drank that.
I'd forgotten
Yes.
about that one.
I love that one, man. I wish they would come out with that.
I am a huge baseball fan, a lifelong Royals fan. I did not like the Crown Town Ale.
I didn't either.
I don't think I ever.
And
had
because
it.
I'm a huge baseball fan and a huge Royals fan, I was like disappointed. Like, we're all celebrating the championship and everything. And I'm like,
And that's fine.
Wah, wah.
I mean, even
Right.
even chocolate ale that just came out.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's not my favorite beer because I don't like. It's an ale.
Yeah.
Kind of like that king cake, Death by King Cake. It's an ale. It's hard to really, if you're gonna do something chocolate and sweet, it's a dark beer
Yeah. Oh yeah.
is gonna be better. Or if you do like a white stout or something like that, something where you can put. Our word of the week last week was adjuncts.
that's right.
Because
You got so excited about that.
we do a beer word of the
Well,
week.
except for we forgot to do it in week 2. So it lasted
No,
1
no,
week.
no, no. I've got something ready on deck for you, son. Okay.
Wow. Since we're drinking Preacher Ale still, I feel like I need to make a confession about Boulevard.
Okay.
I don't really care about Tank 7.
That's fair. I mean, that's fine.
I feel like most of Kansas City is, you gotta love the Tank 7.
No.
If farmhouse saison is not your style, it's not your style. I happen to really like that beer. That was literally when craft started becoming craft. Yeah, I was a pale ale guy. But when Tank 7, when I get that shit in that bomber, down at the little cheap store down down on 150. What's that little
Lucas
convenience
Liquors?
store? No, not Lucas. At that gas station at 150 and like
yeah,
that weird gas station, and they had it, and we could get lit on that one bottle.
Yeah. Right.
And it's
all right.
I like. Well, see, I like funk, not the
Okay.
music, like a funky beer.
I like both.
And anything. That's one of the words of the week. We'll throw in. I always did that one. Anything with Brett.
Yes.
Brettanomyces, which is a fungus, basically.
The fungus among us?
Yeah, it just funks up a beer, and for some reason I like that. And Tank reminds me of just that farmhouse funk.
So
It's not that I don't like it. I just,
and that's fair. That's the beauty about beer. You don't have to like what I like.
Right.
The one thing I'm not going to do, and he and I talked about this last week, how somebody will get on Untapped, like somebody rated one of the beers at Smoke. Like a 1. I'm like, what is your fucking problem? Unless it's infected or bad or just, really, no, don't rate it then.
Right. Like just say you checked it in.
Yeah. Don't be a hater.
I think I said this last time, but I'm going to say it again. I'll probably say this every week. If you make something funky, something weird, I'm probably going to try it.
But you don't like Tank 7.
So
Dark Truth Stout, though, love it.
Yeah, it's a great
one is
beer.
a really
Yeah.
good one. The Boulevard's first chocolate ale that came out, like I think that first year, it got infected with Brettanomyces.
Right.
And it was so fucking good. Like, it was so
because it gave it a different vibe.
It did. Like there's chocolate and then there's funk and it all went together so well. But then they were like, shit, we can't do this again because it got infected, so they didn't make it.
Yeah.
And then they remade it and it was just shit.
And
I mean, I haven't had this year's, but
and people are saying this is the best year, blah blah blah. But you know what? It's to each his own.
That's what I kind of like about those things, though, is that they're different. Every time it's a little bit different. Like, I had that last year. but it might not be the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm not I'll drink a love child, but that's not. I got people who hoard that shit. I'm like,
I got a 4 in my cupboard. I love that.
okay, well, good for you.
No, I know.
I'm not gonna judge your ass, and that's okay. I'm not, that's just not my jam. And I'm not a beer hoarder anyway. When I buy beer, I want to share it. The fact that I have beer at my house right now is because I generally don't drink it by myself. I happen to drink that Death by King Cake by myself. I was like, I'm gonna have a beer because it was one of those nights I made myself not go out, because it's hard where I live, man.
No,
You just look out your window and just
you hear all the voices. Next thing you know, somebody's climbing at my fire escape. Where are you at? That happens.
Rocks.
That's happened.
What?
Yes. Somebody climbed on my fire escape and crawled through my window, and I was asleep. They're like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Really?"
Wait a minute. Bed right now?
Wait. Your window's open?
If in the summer, it's kind of
somebody's making plans.
But if it's locked, not locked, but if it's down, you can't get that bitch open. I'm sorry. So anyway,
challenge accepted.
Oh my god.
So let's do this last beer, and we'll wrap this show up. Alana, we appreciate you coming in.
Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely, you've been awesome.
While he's opening.
Yeah.
So what are you? If you're going to continue the KC version of I Am Craft Beer, if you're going to continue that,
oh hell yeah!
What do you see? What are some other events that'll follow? Maybe the panel that you just did. What are some things you're thinking about? What's going around in your head?
So I'm already working on the next one, and it's going to be more female, woman, trans women, non-binary focused. So not men focused. Men will be invited.
What?
Right?
It's really hard being a white man. She just ignored me.
Right, keep on talking.
Earlier this week, I sent out. I'm part of a lot of different women entrepreneur Facebook pages. So I created a survey and posted it on there and been like, if you're a woman that goes out, to our breweries or and like beer, I would I'd appreciate it if you could fill it out and tell me your feedback. And a few of the things that I've gotten, there's one person who filled it out, and the first question that I have was, do you visit many of our craft breweries? And this person said, I don't visit any of them. And then in the additional feedback, they were like, I'm not even much of a drinker, but this survey doesn't even make sense. I'm like, why did you even fill it out?
Right.
What the
Bored.
fuck? You're wasting time.
Bored.
Anyway. But most of the women, one of the questions was, do you feel safe at our breweries? And a lot of the women said, 100% yes, I do. And then some said, I do, but I only visit them during the daytime.
Huh.
I don't visit them at night. Right. Yeah, it's super interesting.
Yeah.
So I really want to go off that and kind of what can we do as a community to have them, have women come out more and just be part of the community more and feel confident to brew their own beer at home and and get involved that way. So
what you should do? It's a great idea. No, this is so when they do Big Brew Day at Boulevard, generally ZZ Hops, all those guys brew a beer.
Yeah.
You can invite a group of those ladies to team up. Because that was the one things, and of course this is today is Fresh Fest, the greatest beer festival I've ever been to in my life. They released the date. It's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. It's on August 8th, and they released the date today. And so one of the things they did at this festival, they went around and all the brewers teamed up with somebody in the community, like somebody like you. They would bring you in, and you have an idea for a beer, and you would brew it with them. And it was served at the festival.
Oh, that's cool.
So something along those lines where, and ZZ Hops or any of the homebrew clubs would love to do something like that, where you get those ladies involved in that brewing process.
Yeah.
That, to me, that would be awesome. If you want to get people engaged in it and see, So, but I think that's a great idea. I'm not mad at you, girl.
And a lot of them also were saying, I was like, well, what would you like to see more of? In our craft beer, and a lot of them said more women brewers, more non-binary people behind the bar, and,
right.
And just
You know what?
not it being a boys' club. So.
You know what's funny? And I go to a lot of breweries. There's a few women behind, but it's mostly men. Mm-hmm. Like probably 99%.
Yeah.
Behind the bar.
Oh yeah. It's
I mean, I'm even thinking just here, and you and I live in the circle, but yeah.
Grains and Taps at least they have
two.
Yeah. And so does Fringe.
Fringe has a couple.
Diametric has one.
Windshift has one. Lynn.
Well, two actually.
Oh.
Brittany Abushan. Do you know the Abushans?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's working there as well.
Okay.
So yeah, it's there's lots of work to be done in the beer community just to hire, some people who don't look like you.
Right.
One of the funny stories when I went to Fresh Fest, I met Garrett Oliver. He's one of 17 master cicerones in the world, and he owns Brooklyn Brewing. Mm-hmm. He's like, I've never had a person of color come and apply for a job.
Really?
In 20 something years. Because again, it goes back to if you're not exposed to it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How would you know?
Yeah.
So
and
it's more than just opening the doors.
Yeah.
You have to you have to invite people to the door.
Yeah.
You have to
Right.
get them there.
Exactly. Yeah. And for women too, it's not just getting them to come into the bar, we need more women to come out and, hang out and stuff, but it's also like we need more women to crash that glass ceiling. Like we have Courtney now,
right,
who owner, operator, brewer of her own, business there. And we have Bree, the head brewer. We have Erin at Martin City. We have, Betsy at Barristers in Topeka.
So I didn't know about Erin at Martin City.
Yeah, she's one of the brewers there.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Very cool.
I mean, there are women, but like the list, like I already started even making a list, and it's like this compared to like this, of all the men. And it's like, how can we get the men to recognize the women to be like they can do that, and
and that's part of changing the culture too, because you hear stories of, just like the story you told earlier, where people were talking down to you just because you're a woman. And God bless Shalandra, Afro beer chick, for being black and a woman.
Yeah.
That was, ripe target to some people, right?
Do you think some of that is because of the, how do I want to put this? The bro culture of the mainstream beers.
Absolutely.
I mean, you think about the guys that all I want is a Bud Light. Mm-hmm. And the commercials that market those, all that. Do you think some of that is the reason maybe why we don't see a lot of women go into, not just go to the bars, but to get into the business?
Right.
I think so. Because, most of the marketing that, Miller, Bud Light, Coors, like it's
bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
I mean,
like you see
there's
commercials.
And there's about 10 years difference between you and I, and I'm not sure what part
I'm
of
25. Just kidding, I'm not.
But I mean, just think about like girls don't drink beer, right? When we were growing up, when we were in college or whatever, girls want cocktails. They don't want beer or wine coolers.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, right?
I drank Colt 45 in high school.
Hell yeah, girl. I know. I know a lot of women that drink beer though.
Yeah.
I really do.
But I think that's different now.
Right, versus...
Yeah, back in the day. So Alana,
yes.
I know we're trying to wrap up. But
I know we keep trying, but whatever.
This conversation's good. So from your perspective, being a woman, I have my perspective on the Kansas City beer community that there's a lot of women who are in these breweries drinking beer. Mm-hmm. What's your perspective?
I think we could do better.
Okay.
There's plenty that I do see.
Okay.
But, and it's not... And it's also... not like a responsibility of the brewery, like you were saying earlier, to get more women out, and it's not a responsibility of men to, that's a different subject, but also like it's also my responsibility to invite my girlfriends out.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right.
So that I could be like, oh yeah, you'll really like this place, and I know you don't like this kind of style of beer, but they have this and you probably will like it. And I think that would be like a foot in the door for a lot of women who aren't necessarily knowing of craft beer.
Right.
You know, they see the basic beers that are out there, and you know, someone like me, I could be like, oh yeah, I know you know, you like Pilsners, or you like Pale Ales, or you like IPAs. This place has all of that stuff that you will like. And I mean, with that said, it's also, I mean, women, it's so weird being a woman, because there's also women who are against women too. And it's, you know, it's like, why can't we be friendly at a bar? Because I go in a bar by myself all the time, and I sit by myself all the time. And the people who talk to me are the dudes.
Right.
Like, they're always coming up and like, what are you drinking? What do you think? What should I get? And I'm just like, I don't fucking know. Like, get whatever you want. Let me.
You're a grown-ass man.
Right? Like, let me hang
Leave me
out,
alone.
man.
I'm drinking.
But like, I have never once been somewhere alone and a woman or women come up and been like, oh, hey, how's your night going? And I mean, we should also feel comfortable to talk to each other.
And it's funny, because if I go to a brewery and I see a black person, I'm going to them, male or female. Like I was telling Nick last week, I was at Parkville last year, and I was like, ooh, black people. I ran over there. I took a picture. I'm like, we got to take a picture. You know, because I'm like,
I talk to a lot of other white men when I go.
me too.
Oh, is that not?
Because I don't know if you know this story. When I went to Fresh Fest last year, and that was probably the highlight. And I had it.
Yours or this one?
It doesn't matter. We haven't touched it yet, so it doesn't matter.
I'll give you the most.
Thank you. So when I went to Fresh Fest, I did the VIP thing. So they did symposiums on Friday, a festival thing on Saturday, and then a brewer's lunch on Sunday. So I did all those things. So when I got to Pittsburgh, Ubered to this hotel where they were doing this symposium, walked in there, and it was 99% black beer people. And I was like, holy fucking shit.
How did that make you feel?
I had goosebumps. It still gives me fucking goosebumps. It was...
Well, and I'm curious, too, about your perspective, because you spent the first 12, 13 years of your life in England.
And we talked about that.
Where you know, race wasn't the same weirdness that it is here in America.
I didn't experience race, even though I lived in places that it was mostly white, until I got here. It was never an issue until I moved over here. It's a weird dynamic.
So even with that background, you still showed up there in Pittsburgh and were like, holy crap.
Well, this beer festival, that's why I promote the shit out of it, because when not only, it's not a black beer festival per se, but it's put on by a couple of comedians. Shout out to the Drinking Partners podcast, because they're funny. And they get great guests, and they started this thing. So 2020 will be the third year. Wow. And last year was like 5,000 people.
Holy shit.
After the first year being 1,500.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
And
that really is amazing.
there's 50-something minority owned breweries in the United States. Probably 30 of them were there. Wow. From all the way from LA. And then, you know, there were vendors, and Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania produces the most beer out of any state. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of breweries. So it wasn't just all black breweries. Right. It was everybody, but it was so different. Nappy Roots was the fucking headliner for the concert. What the hell?
Shit.
That's awesome.
It was ridiculous. And I met I probably drank less. I spent my time talking to so many people than I did drinking beer. I didn't even get to some of the beers I wanted to get to, because I was busy talking to folks. I was just so enamored. Yeah,
soaking it all in.
And then I was wearing a KC drink local KC beer, and I had people come up to me, "You from KC?" It was it was a trip.
Yeah.
Then I met this symposium, and part of it was the morning session was diversity and inclusion, and that's when I met Dr. J.
Yeah.
And Shalonda.
I bet they're so nice in person.
Yeah. And then it was in this hotel, and then they took a break. Everybody went downstairs to the hotel bar. He just mingled. It was so surreal. And then the second half of it was how, if you want to do a brewery, here are the guys, minorities who have done it. Mm-hmm. How did they do it? What were their struggles? What were their issues? It was the most amazing day. And I went by myself, because I'm that guy. I'm like, I'm fucking going to this shit. And that first day, not even counting the festival and the Sunday at the Brewers brunch, I was the Brewers bottle share. What the fuck was that?
That sounds awesome.
Oh my God, it was so ridiculous.
Do we have any brewers of color in Kansas City that you know of?
Commercial brewers?
Yeah, commercial. No.
Commercial.
No. Unfortunately.
No.
Curious.
No. Not yet. You probably saw the article I posted today about Jonathan.
I did. I
Cajun
sent a
Fire.
response real quick.
I met him several years ago at Mardi Gras. And what he was doing, promoting his brand, he would be on the parade route and just pouring beers. And so I was like, who is this black brewer?
Yeah.
Got, friendship out of it. Seen him a couple times since then. He was at Fresh Fest. I'm telling you that if you want to go to a great beer festival, put it on your list. It's so ridiculous.
Oh man.
The Brewers bottle share alone. It was at this restaurant, and beers I had never had any of these beers. Literally every beer at that beer festival I had never seen or even heard of. It was the most ridiculous, mind-blowing thing, and everybody was so cool. So I'm going back this year, August 8th. Save your money.
It's so close to my daughter's birthday, though.
When's her birthday?
August 11th.
Have her
Also, shout out to Naomi because she told me I had to shout her out.
All right, Naomi. Can we have your birthday the
That's right by my
weekend
birthday.
after? You can bring her. She can come to Pittsburgh.
That's mine's the 6th, so you can make a birthday present for me.
Okay. You know how I am. Naomi's like 20 times me.
Okay, that's saying something.
I know. Like she would, if we took her to a beer fest. Oh my god.
I like. What are we drinking here?
Taste that.
It's very robust.
Yeah, roasty.
I like it.
That is Alex Workman's ALX. That's his flag. He does great beers. That's his flagship beer. That thing's probably been in a bottle for 2 years.
Wow.
That's
and
fantastic.
it's been sitting in my Frigidaire, and I thought, hey, perfect opportunity to share it. Mm-hmm. So shout out to you, Alex. We're drinking your beer.
Yep.
On the air, on the airwaves.
All right, 11-3 KC.
Yes.
Alana.
Yes, that's me.
If people want to help you, if people want to, hey, I want to bring more women out with me the next time I go to a bar. I want to bring more people that look like Nigel.
Yes.
Handsome black men.
None are as,
My bad.
none are as handsome as you, Nigel.
Handsomer.
Or maybe I just feel like I want more middle-aged white men to come along with me. That's not even.
And the room went silent.
Wow. I even said, I'm like, yeah, that's not as funny as I thought it was.
I'll be sure to add some the hi hat.
Can you give me a laugh track? When I make bad jokes, I need a laugh track.
There you go.
What is your suggestion though? What for some people who say, you know what, I want to help out. I can do my little part to bring some women out with me. I mean, what do you suggest?
Just do it. If anyone that's listening, if you're just like, wow, I can invite more women out, or I can, talk to the lonely woman at the bar, or, if I'm a person of color, you just do it. Talk to people, go out, have a good time. Don't feel self-conscious, and don't feel like it'll be a bad time. All the bartenders at all of our breweries, they're the sober ones.
Supposedly.
Right.
I've seen Nigel before.
Well,
I'm super sober. I'm awesome.
They're always looking out, I know I've mentioned it quite a bit. Good job.
That's a 2.
I don't get the monster burps.
I would really
We'll
recommend
get you one.
Apex when, my boyfriend's working, because he is always sober and he has really good hearing. And
Super nice.
Very observant. So, and he and I have talked about it, and I'm like, have you ever had or seen a situation that kind of started going south, like a man getting too drunk and being too, forward with a woman and all that stuff? And he's just like, oh yeah, I've stopped that before. So whether you're, person of color, whether you're trans, non-binary, woman, go to Apex and see how you like craft beer. They have a lot of just kind of basic things that'll ease you into it, and then you can go visit everyone else that's very experimental. And even if you are a white man, you'll have a great time.
And that's what it's about. Beer, good times.
Yeah.
Well,
Friendly.
Exactly. Because you're not friendly.
You get the fuck out.
I got nothing to add there.
On that note, again, hey, Alana Broyles, thank you for coming in and
Thank you.
being my first guest and gracing Nick and I and drinking some beers with us.
Yes.
Again,
Thank you guys so
we're going to
much.
bring your ass back because, we can't get enough of that laugh.
No,
And-
it's good.
And you have insight into the beer community,
Yeah.
unlike a lot of people. So that's going to be awesome. So we're going to bring your ass back. So again, this is Beers with Nigel. It's a podcast about beer and what?
Anything else we want?
The official title is other things, but
Other things. We both fucked that up.
I think, he looked at me like, I want you to finish my sentence.
oh yeah, I did.
We're not there yet, Nigel. Our relationship's not that good yet.
Apparently, I didn't get him drunk enough this episode. So, thank you guys for listening. We'll holler at you next time.
Cheers.
Cheers. Click for the plastic cups.
Clicky.
Bloody hell, mate.
I want to finish every episode with that.
What's that?
Bloody hell.
Bloody hell, mate.
You have been listening to Beers with Nigel, a show about beer and other stuff, hosted by Nigel Woodbury and that other guy, Nick Parker. Beers with Nigel is a proud member of the Fredcast Network, and it's available on your favorite podcast apps. Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Beers with Nigel.